Hi everybody, Tim Thompson, CPA. I just wanted to say congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for pulling off a big victory in the Super Bowl. I got a feeling that people are going to talk about that challenge at about the 3-minute mark left in the game. I leaned over to my wife and I told her, I said, you know what? They're lucky that that guy called it touchdown instead of short, because there just wasn't going to be enough evidence to overturn it, and replay after replay. It's like, oh boy. So anyway, that'll be the call that they talk about for years, especially the 49ers fans. But hey, I'm a Dallas guy, and we've had to live with the catch for so freaking long that, you know what, I'm glad. And for all my Chiefs fans, friends out there, I remember some of you really wanting to get rid of Andy Reid long about December timeframe because he wasn't creative, wasn't doing anything. Well, the man just won you a Super Bowl. Proud of you, happy for you. I'm glad we don't have to play him like we had to play every year twice. So, in a couple of years, 3 times when we played him in the playoffs. So, again, congratulations to the Chiefs. Good job, and keep on pulling. I want to go over a couple things with you, and you're going to see some things in the email. I'm looking down on my cheat sheet because I got a lot of stuff to cover. But 2 big things I want to talk about, and as I always do in these videos, I'm going to talk to you about personal stuff, and then I'm going to talk to you about business stuff. First off, on the personal side, I want to talk about tax scams for a minute. They never stop, okay? But I'm already starting to hear a few. It's like the heat up at the first of the year. These crooks need to get their money and raise some money sometime, somewhere. So there are a ton of different scams out there taking all kinds of different forms. They're either going to be a fake tax lien that can spook you. Now, I've seen some of these tax lien letters and they look really close to a real IRS letter. So your best bet is to seek out a professional. But I'll have some links in the email below that you can go and check some things on your own if you don't want to have to bother somebody or get charged for somebody to look it up for you. But the truth of the matter is, on those tax lien letters, and they can look and sound like a real entity, and that's what makes these things so scary and so legit. But I will tell you, the IRS is going to notify you by mail most of the time for anything that they're going to do, and they're going to notify you multiple times. So it's not like they're just going to pop up and go, hey, you owe us money, we're taking you to jail. I do have one very creative friend, and hopefully she's listening to this, but a few years ago she got one of the phony phone calls. And I had just put something out in my blog like a week or 2 before that, and she called me laughing. She said, listen, I got one of these phone calls with this guy, and he said, I'm going to come over and arrest you. And she was in our local city, real close to the police station. And so she's engaging in conversation. I don't recommend engaging in conversations because these guys can totally sound legit. Plus, you're just going to waste your time anyway. But she pulled into the police station and had the guy on the line the whole time, walked up to a police officer and kind of motioned him and just said, hold on a minute. And she said, well, you know what? Listen, I don't have the money. I guess you're going to have to arrest me. But here I'm at the police station right now. Hands her phone over to the police officer. Dude hangs up. I mean, they're just all out there. They're a bunch of scumbags. They're just trying to raise free money. They wouldn't do it if it didn't work. So that's sad that there's some people out there that still fall for it. If you're getting any kind of call like that and you have not seen a letter from the IRS, hang up. The IRS is going to try to contact you every time. They can and do sometimes show up at a place of, at somebody's place of business, or sometimes at your home, and it's not, they don't do that very often, and usually you've got like 3 or 4 letters in advance telling you, hey, we're coming to see you at your house. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about on tax scams. Okay, now I want to talk to my business folks, and this is where I've got my cheat sheet because there's a lot of stuff to it, and I want to make sure that I don't pass over anything. At the end of the year, December 30th or 31st, somewhere in there, Congress got, December 20th, just saw my notes. December 20th, Congress passed the Further Consolidated Appropriations Act 2020. It's like they run out of names for things. Anyway, so they put some things in here, and some of it's important, but I want you to pay real close attention to the dates because some of them start immediately and some of them do not. Like this first one, long-term part-timers can now participate in 401k plans. Well, for the longest time, if you're a part-time employee, so somebody working 1,000 hours or less a year, you didn't qualify for 401ks. Now they do. And the rule is that they have to have worked at least 500 hours in each of the past 3 consecutive years with you, and they have to be 21 at the end of that 3 consecutive years. So they're now eligible to be on a 401k plan. The key thing to note here is that this is for plan years beginning after December 31st, 2020. That means it starts next year, okay? They're giving you a year to plan on it. So get your record keeping in order, figure out who you got, figure out who's going to be eligible, and make your plans accordingly. The next rule, and this one is set right now. They have the employer tax credit that was set to expire on December 31st, 2019. They've extended it through 2020, and that's a credit that's paid for family medical leave. If you've used it, you're aware of it. If not, read my details below and you'll get all the detail you want out of it. Similarly, the work opportunity tax credit is also extended, and those are employers that are hiring individuals. They're out of a select group of 10 targeted groups. That law also extends now through 2020. There's a couple of ACA related taxes that went away, and I wanted to make sure that you take note of those. First of all, there was an excise tax applied to medical device sales. So those of you that are reading this or know somebody that's in medical device sales, this is something that hopefully they've already heard about, but if not, this is a good thing to know. They repealed that excise tax for any sales occurring after December 31st, 2019. So here we are, we're 5 weeks into the new year. Any new sales, that excise tax has gone away. That's a nice little savings. The other thing that went away is the high cost employer sponsored health coverage tax. It's a mouthful. The other people called it the Cadillac tax. Okay, so I don't know why they call it the Cadillac tax, but anyway, it's that high wage earner healthcare plan that a lot of high wage earners were electing because it was a cheap plan. They had higher deductibles, et cetera, but as sort of a penalty that came along with ACA, there was an excise tax applied to it. And that excise tax has been repealed as well. And that started in tax years beginning after December 31st, 2019 as well. So that's gone as well. There's more coming as we're peeling through all the stuff, but these are the 4 or 5 highlights I wanted to make sure you had in the plan. Again, not going to keep you any longer. I hope you've had a great beginning to your 2020. I do appreciate you for taking the time to listen to these. Please do comment. I got some nice feedback last week on last week's video, and just give me some comments back. Let me know what you would like to hear about, some things that you would like to see me address. I've got a schedule built out for the next couple of months, but I can always squeeze something in if it's pressing, or build it on to the end of the schedule. So I'd love to hear from you. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. It's at MyDFWCPA. I've actually got an Instagram account. My daughter's like, Dad, you're on Insta? I was like, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. So come help me. I think there's some other social media stuff that we're doing too. But just follow us wherever you can. And again, leave me a question on any of those social media outlets or shoot me an email. Here's the website, mydfwcpa.com. You can contact me through that as well if you have any questions. Love to hear from you. Thanks a lot.